anyone you talk to will tell you that 2020 kind of sucked, but guess what? The toys were freaking awesome. Seriously, if there's one silver lining to an otherwise awful and historically bad year, it was toys. But in this video, I'm gonna look back and give you my top 10 Marvel Legends for 2020. Yeah, it's starting now. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Nerdzoic. If this is your first time here, my name's Matt, and this is Nerdzoic. This channel is all about action figures, comic books, and the franchises that inspired them. A few weeks ago, the Nerdy Awards premiered on this channel, and those were the best figures and worst figures as voted on by you, the fans. But this video is different. This video is my favorite. But before we go to number 10, let's talk about my honorable mentions. First off, we have Apocalypse. I was not collecting during the Toy Biz era. I did not get to build a figure from a few years ago because I had just gotten into Marvel Legends. So this is my first chance to own an Apocalypse figure. Another one that I think will probably get a lot of pushback from people, and I mentioned it on Toy Runs repeatedly, is the Spider-Man Retro Collection Green Goblin. I don't know why, but it really hits home to me. Something about that design really brings back the '94 cartoon to me, and I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but I get super nostalgic for that specific figure. One more honorable mention I want to say is the Sugar Man. It's not perfect, you know, the articulation kind of sucks, the hammer looks kind of goofy, but on the whole, it's a great figure. So now you're wondering, who made the top 10? Well, I guess you're probably not wondering. A lot of them's going to be kind of like, oh yeah, of course he's in the top 10. But I think a few of them are going to surprise you. My number one pick in particular is a little bit off the beaten path, and some of you are going to say, oh, that's not right. Well, actually it is right, because these are my top 10. Yeah, I can't get this one wrong, guys. So there we go. Let's do number 10. Coming at number 10 is the Retro Doom figure that was a fan channel exclusive. I caught a lot of flack during the Nerdy Awards because I didn't have the Doom from the Super Skrull Build-A-Figure wave on the ballot. Listen, I picked him up in November of 2019. He was released officially in December of 2019. Just because some places say he was a 2020 release does not make him a 2020 release. But here is me redeeming myself angelically and having a Doom somewhere on the list. In truth, I do think that that Doom figure is incredible, the Super Skrull one, as is this one. The differences are very, very little, but being on the retro card is what does the job. Also, the little book he comes with, I love that. I'm a sucker for like little accessories that come with figures. It just does it for me. Coming in at number 9 is J. Jonah Jameson. When that first Spider-Man movie came out back in 2000 or 2001 or 2, whatever it was, that character, the actor who portrayed him, J.K. Simmons, boom, like he stole the show for me. I have always pictured J. Jonah as J.K. Simmons. In fact, here's a little bit of a hot take for you. I think J.K. Simmons is in the top 5 of best castings ever in a Marvel-related movie, MCU or not. When it comes to the Legend line, my personal collection, I'm kind of picky as to what stays in it after I review it. Jameson has to stay, because the way I'm doing this is I need one definitive figure of each major character, and yes, I consider him a major character. Coming in at number 8 is Moon Knight. This was a Walgreens exclusive, and it's like the albino Moon Knight. Nah, I'm just kidding. He's just all white. When I first saw the preview images for this figure, I said, yeah, he looks stupid. But then I went on a 1 hour away Walgreens toy run, and I found him in the store, and I said, oh, he doesn't look so stupid. He is really a great figure. He was a finalist in the Nerdies for Best Figure. I've talked to a lot of collectors who said that this is their favorite figure of the year. Let's move on to number 7. Coming in at number 7 is the 20th anniversary Wolverine figure. There were 2 releases of this. I actually prefer the one with the bomber jacket, probably because that's the one I have, but just looking at the pictures, I'm pretty sure this is the one I'd rather have because he's got a jacket. When this figure was announced last year at San Diego Comic-Con, I actually was on this channel openly saying that I thought it looked nothing like Hugh Jackson. I gotta admit, I don't know what I was thinking. As I look closer, and especially as I got the figure in hand, it's a pretty good spitting image for the young Hugh Jackson. I guess I just had Logan Hugh Jackson in my head. Coming in at number 6 is a figure from the completely underwhelming Joe Fixit Build-A-Figure wave, and that is the comic book Falcon. He's a really cool looking figure. It's a great depiction of the Falcon. For my money, this is the best comic book version of Falcon we've gotten out of the Legends line. So yeah, he was a must-have for me. I had to pick him up. I love him. I don't see him on a lot of top 10 lists, so I guess I'm an outlier. Story of my life. Coming in at number 5 is another Build-A-Figure. Who is it? Well, it's probably obvious. It's Venompool. I gotta be honest, I know absolutely nothing about this character, about any of his story, his history. I don't know anything. I didn't even bother to look it up before this video because I suck. But the sculpt and just the way it's presented looks really freaking cool. I'll be honest, I don't have this one and I don't plan on picking him up, but I have held him and he is awesome. It's a great figure, but my rule, only main characters. And he's not a major main character because obviously I don't even know his story, but he's definitely one of the best figures of the year and he's my number 5. Coming in at number 4 is another member from the Venompool wave and his little brother, Movie Venom. Unlike Venompool, Movie Venom was a must-have for my collection because he now represents my sole Venom figure, and he is the only Venom figure that I plan to have. It's a fantastic looking Venom. It's based on the movie. To me, this is about as classic Venom as you get. If you just need one Venom for your collection, I think this is the one to have. A lot of other people seem to think it too, based on the way it's sold. I don't know if this was if this even was in retail stores. I never saw it in retail stores. I had to get mine off the interwebs. But it's a fantastic figure. If you want to have one Venom in your collection, I can't recommend them enough. But yeah, love this Venom. He's number 4. Now that we get down to the top 3, this is where we're going to have some surprises, okay? Let's do this. Coming in at number 3 is the figure that won the Nerdy for Best Figure of the Year. That's right, I'm going against the crowd here. Number 3 is the Retro Spider-Man. Don't get me wrong, I love this figure. It's fantastic. It's the only Spider-Man in my collection. I don't need any others because it's it's definitely the best Spider-Man that Hasbro's ever made. But I actually had 2 releases I like better. This has nothing to do with me saying anything negative about the Retro Spidey. I think he's fantastic. I think he takes the pizza Spidey and he throws him in the garbage. Love him. But he's not my number 2, and he's not my number 1. All right, your wheels are turning. I can see it. Your wheels are turning. Who's number 2? Who's number 1? Oh, man. Who's it going to be? Is Big Nerdy going to screw the pooch, huh? Is Joe Fixit going to be number 1? Hell no. But let's see who is. Actually, let's not see who is because I almost skipped number 2. So let's move on to number 2. Coming in at number 2, we're going to revisit the 20th anniversary collection from the, Fox Marvel Legends. And we have Old Man Logan and Old Man Charles. The figures are awesome, but really, I think this is one of those things where it might just be the character that's causing me to love this so much. Initially made the plan, was only going to buy the one, but mistakes were made, changes were made, and he's now number 2 for 2020. I know what you're thinking, right? So Doom's not going to be number 1. We already know that because I established that the Super Skrull Doom is not a 2020 figure. Retro Spidey's not going to be number 1 because he's number 3. Movie Venom's not going to be number 1 because I already mentioned him. And I just went over the Charles Logan 2-pack. Who's it going to be? Well, let's find out. Coming in at number 1 is another 20th anniversary Fox movie figure, and it's another Walmart exclusive, and it is Cable. Because who doesn't love the combination of a Josh Brolin figure that isn't Thanos and an impossible to find Walmart exclusive? So these are my favorite figures of 2020, but if you want to see the figures that were voted as the best of all time, check out this video right here, which I made a few months ago and counts down the top 10 best Marvel Legends ever made. And if you already saw that video, check out this one that YouTube's recommending to you. Here-ish. Be cool, stay nerdy.